TD. It's a good day to be Dak.
Right now, it's about celebrating this win tonight. Hell of a win with these guys. Excited for this plane ride back with them. But turning the page tomorrow, getting on to the Saints, and taking it one game at a time. But that's what is at the forefront of my mind. Not the money. It's about holding up my end of the deal, and that's winning. And I want to do it here.
What it means is a big commitment to the next 5 years, to our future, if you will. There's a lot of me that thinks I'd hope Dak is our quarterback for the rest of my time.
Dan Orlovsky joining the party. Good to have you with us, Dan.
Good morning. How are you guys?
What's going on?
We're good.
Yeah?
We're good.
It's good to be in the flesh.
It is good to be in the flesh.
Good morning, good sir.
I'm in the house.
How are you?
Said, how are you?
Well, that haircut look just like Ernie.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, who's Ernie?
You'll figure it out.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Shannon,
Molly will tell you later.
Shannon, I'll start with you. Was that a statement win by the Cowboys?
No. They were Cleveland without their two right tackles. And it wasn't like the Cowboys had 500 yards of total offense. They ran the ball for 150 yards. Dak threw the ball for 300 yards. It was nothing to that. It was a situation where, look, they took advantage. Mike Zimmer knew that the ball was going to have to come out quick. They sat on a lot of routes. Deshaun really never had an opportunity because they couldn't run the football. They became one-dimensional early in the ball game. That's not to try to diminish what Dallas won the ball game. The defense looked very impressive. But your two right tackles, 79, the right tackle, oh my God, Stephen A., he couldn't block you. I mean, it should be a crime to be that big and that sorry. I mean, he couldn't block the sun out of his eyes. So when whoever got on his side, he was either false starting, illegal formation, or he was getting a holding call. And so I don't want to try to minimize that, but was it a statement win? No, because I think the right tackles not being here, both the left and the right tackle, and they started two backups, I thought that had a lot to do with it. But on the other side, man, to give Cowboys the defense their credit, but I thought the Cowboys played okay. They didn't do anything spectacular. Now, I can see them improving along the way, but I don't look at this as a statement win. I just thought that the Browns' offensive line was inadequate, and they couldn't do anything with the pass rush for the Cowboys, and it made them one-dimensional, and made it look worse than probably what it was. But I don't look at this as a statement win. They won the game. It had to feel good to Dak. He got his money earlier that morning, and he came out there and he played okay. But I don't think it was a great win, and I'm looking at them like, okay, yeah, they're absolutely going to be in the NFC Championship game. I don't look at it like that.
No, I look at it as a statement win, Shay, because, listen, when you have the noise that they've had in the offseason. You didn't go out there and get anybody. You waited forever to sign CeeDee Lamb and ultimately Dak Prescott. All right, you acquired Ezekiel Elliott in the offseason, and people were looking at that like it wasn't going to be anything. It wasn't going to matter so much, and it may end up being that way. One of the statements that you want to make is that if you're a contender, you want to beat up on people who are trash compared to you. And that's what the Cleveland Browns were. Trash. They were horrible. Now, I'm not saying they're a horrible team, but they might have a horrible quarterback. We don't know that yet. I'm certainly not going to sit up there and say that about Deshaun Watson definitively. But, my brother, if you are watching, my God, it's really, really bad. I mean, Houston was a long, long time ago. You understand? But and it looks so bad for Deshaun Watson right now. I'm like, 0 for 10 passing on throws of 15 or more air yards on Sunday. 0 for 10? 0 for 10. I mean, he couldn't throw a pass past 5 yards. It was really that bad. Yeah, you don't have the two tackles. Yeah, you don't have Nick Chubb, who's out for the first 4 games of the season, obviously, because he's still healing from the knee injury. We got that part. But damn, you got Amari Cooper out there. You got Njoku out there. You got some weapons to do absolutely nothing. Now, I was listening to you coming in, and you're talking about Dorsey and the offensive coordinator, and it's not his system, etc. Figure it out. Nobody want to hear that. You got to figure this out. You got $230 million. Up until yesterday morning, Deshaun Watson was the highest paid quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah.
Now you are the second by $1 million. That's it. Okay? Nobody wants to hear, okay, that it's going to take some time. Well, you had enough damn time. And you're looking at Cleveland right now. And by the way, I know CeeDee Lamb was putting on the show, and Denzel Ward had a hard day. I get it. I understand. I was watching it. But if you look at the Cleveland Browns, if their offense had given them anything,
Totally different game.
if they had given them anything, it would have been a totally different game. You could see demoralization kicking in like, yo, it's pretty bad out here. The only thing that I saw worse than the Browns yesterday were the Carolina Panthers.
The New York Giants.
And the Giants.
Did you watch that game?
No.
1-2.
No. Hold on, wait a minute.
Do you hear
That's
the
different.
fans?
That's different.
They were like, goodbye.
Hold on, y'all.
booing
Hold
them.
on, y'all. There's a difference. I told y'all the Giants ain't had nothing but Saquon Barkley in a bag of chips, and now he's gone.
Yeah, had that look.
In Carolina's
How'd
case,
Saquon look on Friday?
In Carolina's case, you saw demoralization. In Cleveland's case, you saw demoralization. They looking at it like, damn, we just don't have that dude at the quarterback position. It would have surprised me if guys were sitting in Cleveland right now clamoring for Joe Flacco. That's how bad it was yesterday. Or Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. So
well, I know Flacco's gone.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying Jameis Winston being there. But I'm talking about Flacco because of what he did last year.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Let me hit the game real quick. No, not a statement win by Dallas. Mature win. I'll give him that. I actually thought Cleveland would win this game. If not for a terrible offense, to Stephen A's point, I think it's a little bit different a game. They were fine offensively. They ran for like 3.5 yards per carry. Dak threw for 5 yards per attempt. So wasn't outrageous, but they minimized Myles Garrett. So I'll give Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys, credit. Make sure he didn't win the game. Now on to the situation at quarterback. I think there's a problem in Cleveland at quarterback. I would be thinking long and hard about playing Jameis Winston in the very near future. The Browns are in a crisis at that position, okay? Crisis.
How many years has it been a revolving door at that position? And they gave him the most guaranteed money at the time.
I mean, the year that they moved on from Baker Mayfield, Baker Mayfield was coming off of that really good season, I think, in 20 when they beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs, and then they moved on from him, I believe, after 21. Here's the biggest issue in Cleveland right now. Like Kevin Stefanski, who's their head coach and play caller, is two-time coach of the year. He comes from this offense that is from Mike Shanahan, Gary Kubiak, Kyle Shanahan, which is the old school quarterback under the center, the outside zone run game, the big play action stuff off of it. And they've built their team around that. That's what they did with Joe last year. So the offensive line, it's better for that. The skill position players, Coop, it's built for that. Nick Chubb, they can't do that offense with Deshaun. I don't know the exact reason why. They can't do that offense with Deshaun. When they try to call it, it's not executed well. The fundamentals of it are not executed well. When they don't call it and they try to play this spread offense that was a little bit college and then what Deshaun thrived with in Houston, it's bad. The ball doesn't come out. The dynamic athlete is no longer there right now. And then there's no plus plays. You know, Stephen, you know this. Miles, you know, Shannon, you know this. When you get to a certain price point in this league, you're expected to overcome some deficiencies. Yeah. There is none of that happening. Dude, there was some misses yesterday that you're like, oh my gosh, dude, there's balls that were missed by 6 or 7 yards. Egregious misses. That's why I sit there and I go, I would be thinking long and hard very shortly about going to Jameis Winston because to Stephen A's point, man, like everybody in that locker room it's not difficult to see.
Go ahead, Shay.
I'm not there yet, Dan, as far as with Jameis Winston. I'm not there yet.